What is up, guys? I've been doing it for God. Welcome to our podcast, to your favorite podcast, Do It for God. Episode 22. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Doing all right?
Yeah, here we are in the same clothes once again. It's another one of those ones.
It's another one
we
of
have to do
those.
some back-to-back filming in advance. I'm going off to camp again,
I'm going out of the country.
and so we got to. We'll have 3 episodes where we're dressed the same,
Yeah.
but the
next
light
3
is
weeks.
changing color, so it
Yes.
indicates that it's a different episode.
Yeah. Should have brought at least the blue
The
hat.
blue one to change it a little bit.
to
It's all
change
right.
it
It's
a
too
little
late.
bit. Yeah.
But
So
yeah,
I'm going out of the country. Pray for me to come back safely and that I'm allowed in the U.S.
yeah. With this state, you never know. They might not let you
You
back.
never know. You never know what can happen.
But we are talking about something interesting today.
Yeah.
Talking about the past.
The past.
Past. Yeah. So you texted me a couple days ago.
Yeah.
This is what you want to talk about. You want to talk about kind of moving on.
Yeah.
And I was curious as to what you meant. So when you're talking about the past and kind of what you've been struggling with, go ahead and explain that just a little bit.
Not that I've been struggling, but and definitely, just remembering the past and having feelings for it.
Yeah, what kind of past? Like,
Bad past.
what do you mean by bad past?
Yeah,
It's like there's different. Like the past is like being nostalgic for like when you were a kid, or like
no, not even
being
not,
like,
not
like the
being
past, like-
nostalgic. I mean, I was just for the whole week just reminiscing of what I've done wrong, as far as relationships with my parents, with
Yeah.
girlfriends, with friends, what I've done wrong, and I was just thinking of the inability I might still have of forgiving myself.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it's like that's good. It's not what I thought. I feel like a lot of times when people talk about like struggling with the past,
I'm not talking about
they
nostalgia.
miss no. Besides nostalgia, another thing is like people miss their sin.
Mm.
They miss the feelings that sometimes sin feels. Sometimes sin feels good in the moment, like
Yeah.
it really does. Like
You've said it before.
when you're,
We're gonna say it again.
yeah, it's like sometimes the enemy's good.
Yeah.
The enemy's good at what he does. Like, don't clip that. The enemy's good. Don't clip that. The enemy's good at what he does.
Yeah.
And what he does is bad. He's really good at being bad. But sometimes we feel like to reminisce on that sin,
Yeah.
past ways of living that seemed a little bit easier, but we're sinful. So I'm glad that's not the road we're going down. 'Cause
Yeah.
I was like,
No. I mean, it's not that I miss my sin or I miss what I was doing back then. It's more of a like being hard on myself. Like, why
For
did I
just
do
mistakes.
this? Yeah.
I don't know. That's something I've never really understood that like people go through because it's like you can change it.
Yeah.
Like it is what it is.
Yeah. And so it's just a matter of the woulda, coulda. Like, what would have happened if I would have done this
Yeah.
in a different way? Oh, this could have been better. Or, I wonder how my life would be if I would have made these decisions, or if I never met this woman or never met this guy.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think there's ever a way to get over that.
Yeah.
I feel like you're always going to wrestle with doing things better.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you can't let it trip you up. Like, I don't think it's necessarily wrong to sit there and think, man, like, how could the situation have played out if I would have done this differently?
Yeah.
But I don't think it's something that you should be allowing yourself to get caught up on, because at the same time, like, you can't change it. I mean,
Yeah.
the thing you're thinking about was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And think about, like, to the other end of it, like, what if you did do it the way you want, like you're reminiscing about? Would your life, like, would you know Jesus? Think about the
Yeah.
ripple effects in your life that led you to knowing Jesus.
I mean, I know, well, at least this is my take on it, that God wrote your story. Not that you know your story, right? But God wrote your story the way he did for a purpose.
Okay.
I don't know if you have another take on that, or if you want to correct me. If you want to correct me, you're more than welcome to
No.
do that.
No, so this is like, there's two different theological ways to look at this.
Mhm.
Whether like God has written your story.
Yeah.
He's pre-chosen who's going to come to him.
Yeah.
It's called predestination. There's a whole theological thought of it.
Yeah.
So God already knows. He's already wrote the entire thing. Or God is allowing the
writing
world
it.
to take place and the force of the world, and he intervenes when he need, like, at his own discretion, but he's not complete. He knows how the story will play out,
Yeah.
but he didn't
But
directly
he's allowing you to
force you to choose anything. So
Okay.
there's definitely two different. I'm kind of somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
I take either stance. I think both of them have good support, and I think both. It's kind of like, if I had to guess, it's probably a mix of both of them, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah,
but
it's
the
like
mix of
it's
both of
like
them
God
there's not a
limiting
theological
his power
that has-
to give us free will. But though
I don't
it's
even
like he
know.
has a whole story for you, but he's letting you choose.
Yes,
Like, yeah, be
that's
stupid.
how I like to think about it. Like,
Yeah.
God has this story written out,
Yeah.
but he allows you to choose things that change the story.
Yeah. Free
And-
will.
And that's, in the theological world, you're not supposed to say stuff like that, because that's like
Yeah.
mixing different thought processes and different
Mhm.
theologian ideas, and it's looked down upon. At
Yeah.
least it's looked down upon by Instagram comment warriors.
Yeah.
People who
Oh.
actually think theologically and deeply.
Yeah.
I don't mean this as like an insult or anything. If
Yeah.
you feel offended by this, you're the problem. I'm sorry, it's just how it is. Because you shouldn't be offended by this statement. People should be allowed to express their theological opinions.
Yeah.
Like, and whether it's mixing some, or whether it's sticking to Calvinism or Arminianism, or you're kind of mixing the two and kind of blurring the lines, or
Yeah.
all of it has theological support. All of it has biblical support. One of them's going to be more accurate than the other. None of us really know which one it is ultimately.
Yeah.
If you're upset by that, like, oh well. But yeah, so like, there's two ways to think about that. Like I said, I kind of think it's a mix of both. But at the end of the day, it's like, you're on the right path now.
Yeah.
Like, you're following Jesus. Now you're pursuing this life with God. You're walking with him.
Yeah.
What's the point in reminiscing on the past, or even reminiscing on how you got there? Why does it matter?
It shouldn't matter. And saying this again, the enemy is trying to use that in some sort of way
Yeah.
to take me away from God. And so what I've been thinking lately is, what would have happened if I was following God back then, like I'm doing now?
Mm-hmm.
What would have happened?
I don't know. No
God
one
knows.
God only knows. Yeah.
God only knows. I don't think there's a...
I heard. So I did my first ever like staff meeting at the church on Tuesday.
Yeah.
They invited me to them because I'm filling in for Mike right now,
Yeah.
or filling in for the youth pastor till I get one.
Shout out to Mike.
Yeah. Well, he's not here no more, so
Yeah.
he left me. I'm just kidding. I'm filling in, so they invited me to the staff meetings,
Yeah.
and I haven't been able to do it because work and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I took Tuesday off because of my birthday, so I went to one of the meetings.
Mm-hmm.
And in the meetings, they do like a devotional at the beginning, and I'm so glad I went, because the devotional, the person who was leading it, like,
Wait,
used to-
last Tuesday was your birthday?
Yeah.
Happy birthday. Dude, I didn't know that.
That's all right. I forgot too, bro. I was working the whole day. so-
I feel bad now.
No, don't feel bad.
Because I didn't know your birthday was...
It's okay. I couldn't tell you yours, so it's fine.
Okay. Okay,
fine.
fair enough.
But they do like a devotional, and the lady, like, each staff member leads the devotional a different day or whatever,
Yeah.
each meeting. And the lady who was leading this, she used a quote. I don't know who the quote was from. I don't have the exact quote memorized, but
Yeah.
something along the lines of, if the enemy can't defeat you, he'll settle for distracting you.
Mm.
And that's really what it is. Like,
Yeah.
think about, like, reminiscing on the past can halt all your momentum in pursuing forward.
Yeah.
Like, you're pursuing Jesus. You're thinking about, like, I'm going to do, like, how you can be used in the kingdom. what you're going to do tomorrow with him, like how you're going to interact with the word, all this kind of stuff. You're planning ahead to pursue Jesus.
Yeah.
All the enemy has to do is slip in those thoughts of the past.
Yeah.
And now that comes to a grinding halt because you're caught up on what could have been or what should have been rather than what's going to be.
Yeah. I fell into what I fought not to keep doing, which is condemning myself again.
Yeah. I think one of the most important concepts to understand as a Christian is the idea of grace.
Yeah.
And it's not easy to understand.
Yeah.
How could God give me this amount of grace?
Yeah.
But it's so crucial to understand for yourself, but also for other people.
Yeah.
Like the best people to work with, the best people to be around, the best people who represent Jesus are the ones who know and not even fully understand, but like they understand what grace is.
Yeah.
They're never going to fully understand to the extent of like God, obviously, but they understand like that grace is freely given to you, and the mistakes that you made, they're gone.
Yeah.
Go live for Jesus. Like go. I think those are the best Christians.
Yeah.
The ones that understand grace, I truly believe they're the ones that are doing, that God is using to do the most work for the kingdom.
Yeah.
Because it is the most, in my opinion, the most important concept to evangelize, to grow with Jesus, to walk with Jesus, to teach, is understanding grace.
Yeah.
So I think the thing that we got to learn is like not only coming to like understand that, but giving it to ourselves.
Yeah.
Knowing that like you're forgiven, like that price was paid, whatever it was, whatever it could have been, doesn't matter. Like you're moving forward. You have grace.
Yeah. What would happen? Well, I even now I keep asking myself this, like, yeah, I'm forgiven. And I'm accepting, but at the same time, I'm not accepting the grace because I'm condemning myself and I'm not forgiving myself. And what would happen if I know that I'm forgiven, but I personally cannot forgive myself for what I've done?
What do you mean? Like what would happen? In what way?
In my faith, in my walk with God, you think that's going to take me farther away from God?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Forgiveness is, if you cannot forgive yourself for something that you've done,
Yeah.
I definitely think it'll stop your pursuit of God. Not only your growth, but your pursuit.
Yeah.
Because if you can't even forgive yourself, how can you comprehend that He's forgiven you? Like, yeah, you could say it, you could think it, but like, can you really start to comprehend and live that out if you can't even move past, like, forgiving yourself?
So not forgiving yourself and wanting to have a relationship with God would be like a proof of, how can I word it? I don't want to say fake.
No, I wouldn't say that it's fake.
But
I would say it's
not
definitely
genuine faith.
No, I wouldn't say that at all. Just like anything, when you lay your life down for Jesus, you're not going to be a different person.
Yeah.
The next day. It's a walk and it's a journey, but part of that journey is learning to forgive yourself.
Yeah.
So I'm saying it's a detriment to your walk and to your pursuit of Jesus if you don't try to work on it. Like, if you just let it sit there and fester, and like, yeah, well, I don't forgive myself, but Jesus forgives me, so I'm okay. Like, I think eventually that's going to come to bite you. Like, I really do.
Yeah.
But if you're giving it to God and saying, God, help me forgive myself like you've forgiven me. I did this. I've kept doing this. I kept doing that. Yet you keep forgiving me.
Yeah.
Help me forgive myself like that. And if you pray over yourself like that every day and you're pursuing God, you're in His Word, I think there'll come a point where you forgive yourself. Zero shot. I 100% know there'll be a point where if you're doing that, there will be a point where you forgive yourself.
Yeah.
That's how God works. That's how the Holy Spirit works.
Yeah.
But if you're stagnant and you're just like, well, it is what it is. I'm not getting over it. I think eventually that'll be something that really halts your spiritual walk. But I definitely think it's a genuine and real experience for most Christians. Like I said, grace is hard to comprehend. Forgiveness is hard to comprehend because it's in tow with grace, right? So, but I don't think it's a sign of fake faith. Who's calling me? We're back. Sorry, my sister was calling me.
Yeah.
she's trapped in the other room while we're filming.
She's stuck with us all day.
8 years old. Yeah, she's stuck with me all day. She's all bored.
Yeah.
But she'll be fine. She has a phone and toys.
And Disney.
And like a TV. Like she's okay. And water in a bathroom. She's living like she got her own apartment over there. She's got her own apartment over there right now. But yeah, I do think that if you don't actively work at resolving that, it'll come back and it'll hurt you.
I think that's one of the things I struggle the most, thinking that not forgiving myself is not showing a genuine faith or a genuine act of faith. And
there's a video from Impact Ministries that they just posted.
Shout out to
we talked about them
Ministries.
before.
Yeah.
They just posted one. I haven't watched it yet. It's called like, how do you know if you're following Jesus?
Okay.
Or how do you know if you're not following Jesus? Something like that.
Yeah.
Signs you're not really following Jesus.
Mm.
I have a feeling you should go watch that.
Okay.
After this. But I think it goes back to the thing that we talked about when we were talking about like unforgivable sin.
Mm.
If you are actively feeling convicted about something, I think you still have the Spirit with you, and like you still have the Spirit with you, right? Like that's the conclusion we came to. If you're feeling conviction, you're feeling like you need to go to God and repent, you've not committed a sin that's unforgivable because you still have the Spirit with you. Like the Spirit's still with you. I think it's along the same lines with this. Is like if you're feeling like you need to pursue Jesus more in this area, if you're feeling that you shouldn't feel this way, I think that's a sign that you're going down the right path.
Yeah.
But you got to keep going down the path. You can't just accept that, oh, well, I feel this way.
Yeah.
So, no, for me, I have this tattoo on my forearm here. Oh, bring it in the frame.
Yeah.
It's a Batman tattoo.
The Batman.
I got it like a month after I turned 18. I was able to get
I remember.
Yeah, I got it like right a month after I turned 18.
Yeah.
I just started college. I wasn't really following Jesus.
Yeah.
I was going into college with a psychology major.
Yeah.
And I was not pursuing my faith. I grew up in the church, didn't want anything to do with it though.
Yeah.
And then that first semester that GCU does like the introductory Christian class. Mm-hmm. And that's when I really got brought back.
Is it like all careers?
No matter what, you have to take that class. If you're going to GCU, you have to take the Christian Worldview 101 or whatever it's called.
Well, it's a Christian university, right?
Yeah. And so I took the class and it really just brought me back. It really grounded my faith. It showed me that it's real. It was almost like a beginner's apologetics to a certain extent.
Yeah.
And it really just built this and it like proved to me, honestly. And I sat down with the professor and he talked to me even more. So
yeah,
I came back to the faith after that class. And I was like, I looked at my arm and I was like, I permanently marked myself and this body God gave me with this goofy ass Batman tattoo for the rest of my life. I'm gonna be 80 years old. Well, I probably won't make it to 80, but I'm gonna be 60 years old, all wrinkly with a Batman tattoo on my arm.
Yeah.
And it would upset me.
Yeah.
It would upset me. But then I started preaching.
Mm-hmm.
And I got this like thought, and I'm like, this is the best demonstration. Like, I've been gifted with the best demonstration on stage, like to just immediately pull out and show the difference between my life before God and my life after.
Yeah.
My life before God is prioritizing myself.
Mm-hmm.
It's rushing into decisions. It's being abrasive and disruptive. It's like, it's anger.
Yeah.
And I look at that and I look at this tattoo and I see that and I'm reminded of that.
Yeah.
What my life was before Jesus. And then I look at this arm and it's clean.
That's your life after Jesus.
And it's my life after Jesus.
Mm.
And so it's like
Mm.
we all have these mistakes that we made.
Yeah.
This is a mistake. I regret this 100%. I regret it. Like,
Yeah.
it is
Would
what
you
it
get
is.
rid of it, or would you use it just as a symbol
No,
of?
I would keep it forever. I regret it, but I would keep it
Yeah.
forever. It's a consequence of my decision. Like,
Yeah.
and the best part is like God knew it was ultimately going to serve as this ultimate demonstration of sin washed clean.
Yeah.
Like, how cool is that? I get it. And especially with youth ministry, how like I can just do that demonstration anytime.
Yeah.
And it's so cool to be able to play out. God uses our mistakes in the past and he works through that.
Yeah.
And it's part of our story. It makes us who we are. And forgiving yourself is part of that story. Like at some point in that journey, in that story of walking with God, whatever it comes, has to be forgiving yourself.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's one thing or many specific things, whatever it may be, somewhere along that line, you have to come to terms with, yeah, I messed up, but God forgave me, so I can forgive me.
Yeah.
If the creator of the universe, the person who created you, can forgive you, why can't you forgive yourself?
Yeah. Yeah. It is hard.
Oh, yeah. But I say that, I guess it's a very simple idea to present,
Yeah.
but it's a hard one to like follow through and actually do.
Yeah.
And I understand that.
It's one of those easier said than done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've struggled with this ever since I'm a Christian and ever since I'm following God.
Mm-hmm.
This self-conviction, and I know it's not God. God's not convicting me of anything. God's, it's holding me accountable of what I did, but God showed me grace, showed me love, showed me, gave me salvation. He gave salvation to everyone, but he gave me the gift of salvation.
Yeah.
And by convicting myself made me feel like I'm not, again, this is probably my ego speaking,
Mm-hmm.
not worthy of God. Back at it again. Talked about no one's worthy of anything. I know I'm never going to be worthy of God. Never. No one will ever be worthy of God. The only worthy of God is Jesus. And Jesus died for us because he's God. Yeah.
God is worthy of God.
Yeah. Like Jesus did it for us. Jesus suffered for us. And I know I'm never going to be, perfect. I will never be perfect. I will never be sinless. And in knowing all this, it makes no sense for me to still think or still convicting myself. I have to stop.
Yeah. And I don't think it's something you can change overnight. I think you just got to keep giving it to God. Like, literally pray every day. Help me forgive myself as you've forgiven me. Because it's a real struggle. And it's going to keep on going. If you don't give it to him, and if you don't rely on his forgiveness, like, you're never going to get over it. You never will.
Yeah. Agreed. And I know, so this is bringing, like, so this whole self-convicting is bringing slight trouble in my personal relationships.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because my wife, I love you, babe. So my wife notices when I'm going through something like that.
Of course, yeah.
And she notices that I'm being very hard on myself and convicting myself. And she's the first one who noticed that I'm going through something. And she lets me know, like, hey, what are you doing? What do you mean what I'm doing? Why are you convicting yourself? And yeah, even though I don't want to, I end up dragging her with me into this hole of I'm going through this. So because I'm going through this, now you're going through it. Even though you didn't live it, you notice that I'm going through something and you're suffering because I'm going through something. And yeah, I've been fighting hard to change that. And yeah, like you said, it's nothing that's going to happen in one day. So just taking it one day at a time and just remembering, or whenever I have this memories and whenever I feel like I'm going to start punishing myself for what I did, I just tell myself like, hey, that's done. You cannot change that. There was a reason why you did it. And that's the reason why you are like you are now. God loves you. He loves you so much that he forgave you. He keeps forgiving you every day. You just have to acknowledge and act upon it. And then I find peace by remembering that God loves me, that I am forgiven, and that the enemy is trying to pull me away from him. So yeah, I needed this episode.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
But there's so many ways for us to get distracted.
Yeah.
Whether it's this battle with self-forgiveness or sorrow or relationships. But if we don't keep continuously giving it to God, the enemy's winning. Because back to that quote, if he can't defeat us, he'll settle for distracting us, because they do relatively the same thing.
Yeah.
He's not going to stop us once and for all. He'll stop us in spurts.
Yeah.
And he'll slow us down. So just keep giving it to God. Keep praying over it. Keep talking about it. But I think that's part of the battle that Paul talks about. Like when he talks about the battle between like flesh and spirit, I genuinely think that like self-forgiveness is part of that. Yeah. It's part of that battle. So yeah, it's tough. It really is. But and it sucks to say, but like the only thing you do is just push through it. You push through it. You pray about it. You give it to Jesus, and when it seems hard, it means it's working, because the devil's fighting harder. When it seems like it's getting harder when you're praying, it's working. Because the enemy's noticing and he's trying to push back and giving it everything he has. You just can't have it. You can't have it. I'm a big person, like I said before. I really believe that the enemy only has as much power that you give him. Yeah. Whatever you give him, he's going to take. And so, I think for me personally, part of that is just working on not giving him anything. Yeah. Not giving him anything, but that's good. That's healthy. To talk about that stuff, it's healthy. Yeah. It's real good. Yeah. I got quiet.
Yeah, I got very quiet.
You're going almost like ASMR style. That was quiet.
Yeah. So yeah, I needed this episode. I believe that there's a lot of people going through this out there.
For sure.
And well, I just wanted to bring that up because if someone needs help, that's what we're here for. Yeah. If you're going through something like this, if you're reminiscing on your past, and if you're unable to forgive yourself, just give it to God. Give it to God and acknowledge that you indeed are forgiven and you're not condemned by God. Yeah. Do you want to add something else?
No, that was good. That was a good summary. It's a good summary.
Yeah.
I will just say, whatever you're doing, whether it's forgiving yourself or forgiving other people or understanding His grace, whatever it is. Keep doing it for God.
Doing it for God.
He's got you.
Yeah, he's got your back. Just please like, subscribe, and share.
What an awkward transition.
I know. We should have been this first and then. But do it for God.
Man.
Meh. It is what
Too
it
late.
is.
You already sent it.
We're awkward.
Go.
Like
You
that.
already sent it. Full send it. You got to
Yeah.
do the rest of it.
Share this content. Share it with someone who needs to hear this. And if you're going through that, just if you feel like it, pour it out in the comments, and we'll read it and we'll pray over you.
Yeah.
But yeah, see you in the next episode.